Hey everybody, I'm so excited to share with you my top picks for you to teach your kids at home, whether you're homeschooling or schooling at home. Hi, I'm Amy from Book Brand Kids, and I would love to connect with you. So if you haven't subscribed or liked my channel, be sure and do that so that you don't miss videos like this. This video is someone I've been wanting to share with you guys for a really long time because I'm featuring things that make our life simple and focused and set us up to succeed. And I want that for your family too. So all of these books are actually published by Evan-Moor. You can see their logo. You've probably seen it all over. They've been around for over 40 years. And I'm going to go through each of these books really quickly. They're by subject and why they have made my top pick list. Before I do that, I want to tell you that my number one reason for sharing Evan-Moor with you is that they are budget friendly. You are going to be so surprised at how affordable this is. And I've got a really great digital version option for you at the end. So if I forget somebody, tell me in the comments so that I make sure I post a link for you guys in the description. This really can be the least expensive way for you to teach your kids at home. So I love how budget friendly they are. The second reason that I love them is that they are kid approved. They absolutely love the themes and the topics and the lessons that they put together for the kids. Evan-Moor knows what kids like. And so every single lesson reflects that in Evan-Moor's books. And so that is my number two reason. And my third reason is because the lessons are short and focused. This is a win-win for the kids and for mom and dad because the lessons are set up so that the kids are not doing long practices. I'll show you that in just a minute. But they are set up so the kids focus on learning their skill or the concept, and then they practice in meaningful ways and move on. We actually can do a lot of school in a very short amount of time because of the layout, and I'm going to show you that in this video. So let's begin with math. Math is something that I see talked about a lot on homeschool forums, in Facebook groups, and people even message me and ask me about math. This is my top pick. It is Evan-Moor's Math Fundamentals, available grades 1 through 6, and look at the price. Less than $20 full retail, and Evan-Moor is always running a sale. So be sure and check their website often for the latest deals. I want to show you why this is a wonderful example of the short and focused lessons I talk about in number 3 for my reason for picking this book. And it is the layout. So each unit begins with a math models page. This is where they teach the lesson. So I go over this with my child. I teach them these are the strategies that they can use to compare two amounts. It tells them 3 different strategies. And then the practice pages are super short. Only 5 practice pages. 5 practice problems, but the kids have to understand the concepts over here before they can complete their assignment. Look at this. There's only 3 problems on each of these pages, but they're story problems. So the kids really have to understand that math concept before they're just memorizing facts, which really doesn't do us a lot of good. We want kids to be able to use their math in real life ways. And then there's the last page. It's a test that's, again, story problem based. So I use this in 2 different ways. One of my kids absolutely loves math, and she'll actually do an entire unit in a day. Whereas another one of my kids doesn't like math, and we actually do a whole unit every week. It's flexible, and I love that about this book. So we do this book in about 35 weeks, 36 weeks, I believe. You can see that there's 33 units is what I have here, but I don't know if that includes all of them or if that's just the ones we have left. But you can see that each one of these is a unit, and there is a suggested teaching path. So you don't use this book from front to back. So you're actually going to start on page 49 if you're using this as your math curriculum. We love this book. It is wonderful. That's my number 1 top pick for math. So I'm going to put a number 1 here. Then when my kids finish this, we often do their skill sharpeners. Now, skill sharpeners is a full color activity book. Let me flip through and show you. It's by theme. Each theme is in a new color here. And the kids love them because they're all kid-friendly themes. I will say these start at grade pre-K and go all the way to grade 6, and they're only $9.99 for a full color workbook, and that's full price. Again, Evan-Moor does run these on sale every once in a while. The thing I like about these is that really it is what the title says. These are skill sharpeners. There's no lesson to teach. So I like to complete this after my kids have finished math fundamentals. And depending on how fast we go through this, sometimes we need a little bit more extra math enrichment, and this is a great resource that pairs well together. If your kid's a math whiz, then you may be able to jump right in and do this alongside. Or I've even, with my child that was struggling with math, I've actually dropped down a grade level in the Skill Sharpeners to give her a confidence booster to review the previous year's curriculum a little bit, and we would do like 1 page a day when we did math. My third pick for Evan-Moor's math program is daily word problems. Now, if your child needs more practice, I love the layout of this because it's very short. So here's day 1, day 2, which we do these on the same day, by the way. Day 3 and 4, we do these on the same day. And then day 5 is some sort of story problem. The answers are in the back, by the way, of all of these books. And so I do have my kids check their own answers. Here's the answer key, sorry. If they miss it, they have to tell me what went wrong and how they can fix it. Again, this is if you want some additional practice. So I have done these two typically together during the school year, and then I will use this Skill Sharpeners book when we're done with math fundamentals. So that's how we use Evan-Moor for math. Now, for spelling, I have tried different spelling curriculum, and I will tell you that a lot of them are pretty dull and boring. This book is less than $22, available in grades 1 through 6, and it has 30 different units. But I want you guys to see, here's a unit. They actually have a place to pick 2 words of their own. But I want you to look at the variety of activities. They have different types of matching and editing and finding the vowel sound that they're focusing on. And they'll also tell you in the focus what is the common theme with this week's list of words. So quick and easy. There's just a few pages of practice. And then, so what is that? There's 4 pages of practice, and then you give them a test. So again, we were able to do this. We would do this on day 1 and this on day 2, and day 3, my kids would do a test. And so really easy, inexpensive spelling curriculum. Okay, next is writing. And I will say that writing is something that kids often struggle with because it's overwhelming. And the thing I love about Daily 6 Trait Writing, and is my #1 pick for writing, is that it has weekly lessons based on 6 different traits of writing. And let me show you what that looks like. So it's divided into units where you have 5 weeks where you're going to be teaching the kids about ideas. Meaning, and as a writer, when you have an idea, you're going to try to communicate that with the reader, right? And so they walk them through specific strategies to develop a strong idea, to write a topic sentence and to have supporting details, to develop good character setting and plot ideas, to how to elaborate on your ideas, and how to keep your focus. And then the 6th trait is convention, but they do some sort of practice. So this is like your grammar in each week. All right. So then the next unit is about how to organize your writing. The next unit is about word choice, sentence fluency, and the last one is voice. So there's 25 weeks of lessons here. And what I love about this is after we finish this, we still have time to work on some other specific writing resources that Evan-Moor has. This is my top pick though. This really helps kids know how to make their writing come alive in short lessons. And let me flip through and show you really quickly. Here's the organization. This is toward the end of the unit. But I like how they use somebody else's writing and let the kids be the editor. So the kids aren't actually generating new writing every single day. That's what a journal is for. So the kids are actually using the strategy that they've been taught, and they're editing somebody else's writing. Only on day 5 on day 5, there's usually a writing page, and I'm sorry, I just happened to pick a unit where it wasn't there. On day 5, they're going to do their own writing. So this says, write a summary paragraph about a book that you've read. Tell about the book's events using the sequence map from day 4. So here it is right here. So they're preparing them for the writing assignment on day 5 right here. So I love how focused this is. And I've actually been able to do a grade in between my two kids so that we don't have to do the same thing every single year, or I don't have to teach two different lessons because my kids are pretty close in age. However, if you have a first grader and a fifth grader, the content is very different. So you want to get separate books for each of them. But still, less than $30 for a writing curriculum is amazing. The other thing that my kids love to do is write stories. And Evan-Moor has this book in two different grade level sets. One is for 4 through 6 and one is through 1 through 3. And it's how to write a story. And they actually walk them through the parts of how to write a story. And so you can spend 1 week or 2 weeks on each one of these, depending on how much support your child needs. But this is a really fun way to then connect the trait-based writing that I just showed you with this book. So I do the 6 traits first, and then I bring in this because then they have those great writing tools to then write good stories. Again, so inexpensive, less than $17 for this book. However, if you want your kids to actually do some like essays or persuasive writing, then I really started using this book when my kids were in the upper grades, and it's inexpensive, $20.99. Starts with grades 2 through 6, and it's only available in an ebook, just to let you know. But what I like about this book is that it teaches my kids different things that they can write. So it goes through expository writing, like a summary, an essay, cause and effect essay, compare, contrast, biography, news article, a response to literature, and a research report. And then it teaches them how to write things for persuasive writing, like a letter, an essay, a review, an editorial, a problem solution essay, or a pro and con essay, and then personal narratives. And so we would spend about a week going through each one of these units. If you wanted to go over it for 2 weeks or even longer, that's up to you, but that's what worked really well for us. So this is my third pick for writing. Now, when it comes to teaching language, I really like the focused lessons that we talked about again for language fundamentals. This is basically a fundamental program or a foundational curriculum that goes through all the different parts of the English language. And I'll show you really quickly the table of contents. It's broken up into, the area of English that it's focusing on. So there's grammar or nouns or pronouns or verbs. And after every few pages, there is a review that you can use for some sort of assessment if you would like to keep grades. And it's long. It's quite a robust resource. It has over 200 pages of practice. So we usually do about 2 pages a day, and that gets us done in 36 weeks. There is an answer key at the back, which I appreciate. And I do have my daughter check her work after she finishes. And of course, we discuss it and make sure that if there was anything that she missed, that she understands. But for less than $30, you can have a complete language curriculum for grades 1 through 6 plus. If you have a 7th or 8th grader, you can also use the 6th grade book if they haven't done it before, because it is quite advanced. The vocabulary gets pretty involved into, like Latin words and Greek and Roman words, which are really cool to study as well. If your child wants a little bit more hands-on practice with grammar and punctuation, they do have the Skill Sharpeners book. Again, it's less than $10 full price, and it starts with pre-K, goes up through grade 6. It's very similar to the math, and then it's themed, and there's a different color for each theme. But as you can see, the topics are really fun. It connects to other areas of learning. So this is obviously reading. They're going to tie in the grammar and punctuation. They're going to review verbs. But they talk about different types of ships. So your kids are learning as well as practicing their grammar. The games that they get to play it's just not boring at all. The kids really enjoy the engagement of it. And they do a little bit of writing as well, and just some sort of silly, like this is a great way to talk about interjections with this little cartoon. So I really appreciate that, making it really interesting and fun for the kids. So when we do Skill Sharpeners, we usually just do a page or 2 a day, and just depending on sometimes we've even just saved these for the summer and done these in the summer for a nice review. My number 1 pick for science from Evan-Moor is Daily Science. I absolutely love this, especially when I'm trying to do science curriculum for multiple kids, because each child can have their own curriculum and we can manage it really, really well. The concept of this book is it is based on big ideas to get the kids thinking. And so each unit is based on a big idea, and it has 5 weeks of lessons. The last week, though, is a review, and there is a hands-on activity. So we have used this in different ways in our homeschooling. We have done this where we've done a week a day, And we finished the entire unit in a week for my kids that actually love science. We've done it over 2 weeks, where we actually do like week 1, 2, and 3 during the first week, and then we do 4, 5, and the hands-on activity on the second week. That's actually what we're going to do this upcoming year. The reason why I like this book is because there is a teacher page to give you some background, but everything the kids need to know is right here on the page. There's vocabulary, there's bold words, there's diagram, but look how short the responses are. The kids have to understand this to be able to complete this, but it can be done in just a few minutes a day. It is so fun. My kids really enjoy this. We got out the highlighter and started talking about notes, and we started highlighting where we would find the answers. The kids had so much fun doing this book, and it's one of my favorites. One of my daughters, it's her first thing that she picks up every time we start school. So this is my number 1 pick. My number 2 pick is actually, I have the ebook version, so I just printed off a sample lesson for you, is their STEM lessons and challenges. And we often do these on Monday Fun Day, where we do a lot of hands-on, like art and science activities and experiments. And I just want to show you an example of one of the units. There are 15 units in the books. It starts with grade 1, ends in grade 6. So there's 6 different levels, and it's less than $20 for 15 STEM activities. You think about how much time that's going to save you rather than searching on Pinterest just to have them here. But I want to show you how in-depth this is. So this is the parents page, or the teacher page, that actually teaches you different ideas about how you can introduce it and complete the challenge. But the kids have some reading to do to understand the science concept. And then they have some diagrams that are labeled, are really clear, so the kids understand a little bit better about what was being described in the reading. But then they're given the challenge, the STEM challenge. And they are encouraged to do some research before they begin and to brainstorm here. And then what I really like, they have some suggested materials, and they're all usually things that you have around your house typically. This one has strong magnets, so I don't know if you have that, but everything else is pretty much stuff that you probably have at home. But the kids are taught to think about the design process. So they plan, they create, they test, and evaluate. And there's actually little plan sheets for them to start doing their implementing their plan and writing it out before they just start beginning their STEM challenge. And then they are asked to redesign it. So they actually test it right here and evaluate it, and then they see if they can make it even better. So this is really fun. When we have done these, no matter what grade level we choose, all the kids want to join in. And so one of the things I'll talk to you about in a minute is Teacher File Box, where you have access to all of these. It's cheaper than buying them individually, and that way we can use them every week and all the kids can participate, and it's just so much fun. So this is my number 2 pick for science. And my number 3 pick is the Skill Sharpener Science. Now, again, we usually do these after we finish the other curriculum, but they are all topics that kids like. This is glaciers, volcanoes, digital waves, waves in the water, and there's lots of opportunities to do a hands-on activity. There's one for every unit. The kids do some reading, there's vocabulary, but look how short the responses are. The kids really appreciate that they have time learning instead of just doing a lot of boring worksheets. They just really respond well to these books. So that's my number 3 pick to round out our science. Now for geography, I have 2 different resources that I've actually used in different ways, but the daily geography is a really quick, like it says, daily activity that's available grades 1 through 6. It's less than $30, and there's 36 weeks of lessons. So let me flip through to an example. Well, let me show you the table of contents so you can see the different maps that are going to be covered. But let's look at week 16 for Canada. There's the teacher page that basically tells you the answer key right here. Instead of at the end of the book, the answer key is here. Gives you some ideas for introducing the map and the vocabulary. And then here's the map. And the kids are going to need to use this. So if you have an e-version of this book, I like to print this off so it's not front and back with the kids. That's one thing that I will do because it just saves time. But I want you to look at how quick this is. There's only 2 questions per day. And the kids have all the information they need right here if you have introduced the map to them. So this is really quick. We actually do this all in one day. We don't do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We just sit down and do the whole thing. And the kids really appreciate learning about the different places in the world and using their map skills in different ways. So this is just really fun. The thing that we really like for geography, though, for our information is the Skill Sharpeners book, because again, it is based on units and the kids love learning. There's history in here. Obviously, there's going to be some map implementation as well, which from them learning from the other book, but they're not connected directly, so you can skip around. But the kids love all the photography, and you see how the kids are reading and learning, and then they're just answering a little bit of questions to check for understanding and kind of solidify what they learned. But we absolutely love the Skill Sharpener Geography. For less than $10, I couldn't even print this off at home. So even though I have a digital version of this in Teacher File Box, I still buy the hard copy, because when they're on sale, especially, for me to have all these full color pages already bound and printed for me, it's just not worth my time for me to print them off at home. So I love this one as well. Okay, for art, this book, How to Teach Art to Children, actually, you could use it all 6 years of your children's elementary school art lessons. It is so wonderful. It is less than $19, but I do recommend that you get the printed book, because everything is full color, and this will be printing a lot of color at home. However, all of these lessons are inside a Teacher File Box, which I will tell you about at the end. So if you want to have them look at the glossy pages on the computer screen or on your tablet screen and just print out the black line masters, that actually is a really great way to work with this book as well. But the way it's organized is in 2 different sections. Oh, and I forgot to say that you can go to resources and it'll give you a code that you can have a free art and artist PDF book as well. So that is really, really cool. And you'll see why you want to use that in just a minute. So the way that this book is organized is it has the part 1 is about the elements of art, and part 2 is about using the elements of art. So even though in part 1 you are learning about these 7 elements of art, you still are going to be practicing them. So here's about, lines, and we did this one and it was so much fun, by the way. Shape. So you can see how they're going to be, I skipped, how they're going to be using shapes to create art. There is activities for colors, and it's just so easy. Do you see how it's easy step by step? The kids could almost do this themselves. However, in the second half of the book, they're actually going to be studying different types of art and different artists. So here's a quick peek at those. Some of them you're going to recognize, like Andy Warhol, Georgia O'Keeffe, Henry Matisse. But then there's also some people that I have never heard of before, as well as cultures like the prehistoric peoples, or the Chinese bookmakers, or ancient Egyptians. And so I absolutely love this. Let me show you the ancient Egyptian one. It's very fun. And I like how there's a little bit of history. Look at this. As a book person, I just about squealed. There are other books that you can check out from the library or look for on Amazon if you want to dig deeper into studying about this type of art or this type of culture. Here's some questions to talk about, and then you get to actually create the artwork. And I love how it connects to the art elements up here by showing you this reinforces line and shape. These are just so pretty. We actually did the bark painting. My kids loved that. That was so much fun. How to do still lifes and how it's combining all these different art elements. So this book is a must-have if you're teaching art. Again, we do this on our Monday Fun Day to start our week with those, just kind of ease into our week with something really fun and hands-on to get the kids really excited about learning. Usually we try to tie it to a theme of whatever we're studying or a season or holiday. And this book can easily be adapted for that as well. So check this book out for art. And then last but not least, I want to share with you thinking skills. This is something that I feel like is vital for us to teach our kids, because they can always keep learning more information. But if they don't know how to think and analyze, then they're just going to be encyclopedias, and we want them to be able to use their knowledge. So my top pick is actually Thinking Activities, which is only available as an ebook, but it is part of Teacher File Box if you want to access it there. But I want you guys to look at these activities. They're so much fun. The kids these are like riddles, and they have to figure out which one of these gloves they're talking about. And it's so much fun. Now, not all of them are full color. Some of them are a black and white page that you can just answer, but it's talking about how to make different snowflakes. Obviously, this is the winter section. And there's spring activities about, finding things from the garden and using a 3-ring Venn diagram. You use actually, fruit to do some comparing and contrasting. Here's another full color activity. I absolutely love this book. There's 2 levels. There's one that is for grades 1 through 3, and this one is, I wrote 4 through 6, but that's wrong. It's actually 3 through 6 here. And there's 36 different centers. So this is really fun. We have used them for years. Even if my kids have done them in the years past, they want to do them again, because if you choose different elements, sometimes you get different outcomes. And so these are really, really fun. So the other thing that my kids have actually asked to do on the weekends is the critical and creative thinking activities. This is not a full color book, so that may surprise you, but my kids absolutely love it. And they look at the topics. These are all things that kids really want to study. I'll try to bring it a little bit closer so you can see. And the kids have to think. This does not teach them the strategies, but there's different puzzles. They have to unscramble letters. There's a little bit of math. And the kids really enjoy, they skip the snakes because they don't like snakes, by the way. But they have different graphs. And so the kids really enjoy these. The activities are really short. And I don't ever have to tell them to do this book. They get out and do it on their own. This is great to take in the car if you're going for an appointment or somebody's at practice or class and the other kids are waiting. This is a really easy grab and go book that I think your kids will really like. And then last but not least, another Skill Sharpener book that Evan-Moor has is the Skill Sharpener Critical Thinking. This book is really challenging, I think, for the grade level. My kids, every parent thinks their kids are bright. I think my kids are bright, but my kids struggled with these. Some of them had a little bit more advanced thinking skills and they were ready. So we decided to do this at the end of the grade level. So this is something that my kids will work on after they finish the grade, or will drop down and do, like if my child was in 4th grade, we would do 3rd grade, or if they were in 5th grade, we would actually do this 4th grade book. But it's really good for them to do all different kinds of analytical thinking. And so as it says in here, it's categorizing, reasoning, evaluating, and analyzing. The thinker asks questions, collaborates with others, creates, innovates, perseveres, and is confident. And so I really like this book. It is a really fun resource for the kids to do to make sure that they are using those critical thinking skills. Now, all of those things, I wanted to say, every single one of these books, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, are part of Teacher Filebox. So Evan-Moor has uploaded the individual units and lessons, and this is all one word, teacherfilebox.com. I'll put a link in the description where you can get each of these units individually. So you cannot print the whole book from front to back, but you can go through here and pick which of these units you want to do. So if you want to do the one about natural forces or about wings and wheels and wings, then you can print out all of these together. But here's the thing, the Teacher File Box is $99 a year. So as I was showing you all of these prices, then it does add up if you wanted to use Evan-Moor for everything. They do have subject bundles where you get a discount. They have grade level bundles where you get a great discount and you get their free digital homeschool planner. But you can also use Teacher File Box, which is $99 a year, and you can print them off at home or project them on your tablet and just have the kids answer orally or write on a dry erase board that you have. So Evan-Moor offers so many budget-friendly ways for you to school your kids at home. But I will tell you that each of these books that I am showing you right here, this big, huge stack along with Teacher File Box, has been amazing for us to have focus in our lessons. The kids love the lessons. They ask to work ahead. We actually finish our curriculum usually before the end of the school year because they want to work ahead, and it is very budget friendly. So I hope you found that to be helpful. Again, I'm Amy from Book Brilliant Kids, and I can hardly wait to see which one of these you choose. Be sure and check the links below to links for all of these books and more. Thanks for watching.